Most RVs look like RVs. You know what I mean. Big, boxy, obvious. This one doesn't. This is the Thor Sequence 20L, and the moment I saw it in person, I understood why people are calling it the most exciting Class B van of the year. Stay with me. Hey guys, Robert here. Honest reviews, real numbers, no fluff. Let's get into it. Alright, first look outside, and I want you to actually stop and look at this thing for a second, because this is not what a van is supposed to look like, and I mean that as the highest compliment. Clean lines, flush windows, a roof line that looks more like a concept car than an RV, no awkward vents sticking out, no boxy extensions screaming, "I'm an RV, please stare at me." Just clean, sharp, confident. Walk around with me. The body first. Thor built the Sequence 20L on a Ford Transit AWD platform. All-wheel drive, standard. Not an upgrade, not an option, standard. For a van that looks this refined, it also handles terrain that most good-looking vans would never attempt. The fit and finish, flush panels, tight gaps, everything aligned the way it should be from the factory. And the color options. Thor offers genuinely bold choices here, not the beige white palette that RVs have been stuck in for decades. Real colors, modern colors, colors that make people turn and look when you drive past. The panoramic windows, floor to ceiling on the side of this van. From the outside, dramatic, architectural, different. From the inside, they completely transform the space. We'll get there in a moment. Roof, solar panels integrated cleanly into the roofline, not bolted on as an afterthought, built in like they belong there, because on the Sequence, they do. Tires and ride height, AWD, decent clearance, not the Revel, I want to be clear about that, but capable enough for gravel roads, forest tracks, and unpaved campgrounds without any issues. Alright, let's go inside. The moment you step through the door, two things hit you immediately. One, the light. Those panoramic windows flood this entire interior with natural light that makes the space feel at least twice as large as it actually is. I've been inside a lot of vans, a lot of expensive vans. None of them felt this open. None of them felt this bright. Two, the design language. This interior does not look like an RV. It looks like a high-end apartment designed by someone who actually cares about how things look and feel. Clean surfaces, thoughtful materials, a color palette that feels modern without trying too hard. Let me walk you through it. Kitchen first, and right away, this kitchen is different from everything we've reviewed on this channel because the Sequence uses induction cooktop, not gas, induction. No propane tanks, no open flame, no gas smell in a 20-foot van. Just instant, precise, clean heat that shuts off the moment you lift the pan. Safer, cleaner, honestly just better. The countertop, solid surface material, real quality, not laminate, not the stuff that chips and stains after 6 months of use. The sink, deep and functional, good water pressure, easy to use. The refrigerator, full compressor unit, works perfectly regardless of how you're parked, properly sized for 2 people living on the road full time. Storage, and this is where Thor really showed up on the Sequence. Soft close cabinets and drawers everywhere, pull-out shelves inside the cabinets, hidden compartments in places you wouldn't think to look. I opened a cabinet expecting 1 shelf and found 3. This is a kitchen you want to cook in, not just survive in. Living area, and this is where those panoramic windows make their full impact. Sit down here, look out those windows. It's like sitting in a glass room floating in whatever landscape you decided to park in today. Mountain view? You're inside the mountain. Forest? You're part of the forest. Ocean overlook? I don't need to say more. The seating, real cushion density, doesn't bottom out after 10 minutes, doesn't leave you shifting around trying to find comfortable. The table setup is smart. Adjustable height, multiple configurations, converts to sleeping space when needed. And the ceiling, LED lighting integrated into the design, not strip lights taped on. Actual architectural lighting that creates mood and atmosphere. I sat here one evening watching the sun go down through those windows for 2 hours straight. and I genuinely forgot I was in a van.
Bedroom. Fixed rear bed in the back. Full size, real mattress, accessible from both sides. Same setup I loved on the Knaus we reviewed a couple weeks ago. You don't fold anything out, you don't climb over anyone, you don't perform gymnastics to get into bed. You walk up, you get in, you sleep like a normal human being, in a van, parked wherever you chose to be. Under the bed, garage storage accessible from outside. Bikes, gear, hiking equipment, load from the outside, keep the inside clean. I keep saying this about every van that gets it right, because so many RVs still get it wrong. Having outside access storage changes your daily life on the road, completely. Bathroom. Compact, I'll say it up front. 20 feet of van is 20 feet of van, but the Sequence bathroom is well designed within its constraints. Wet bath setup, shower, toilet, sink in one space. The shower is real, good pressure, proper shower head, the kind you actually want to use at the end of a long day, not just tolerate. The materials, no cheap plastic trim, no surfaces that feel like they're losing the battle after 3 months of daily use. Thor stepped up on this bathroom, you can feel it, and in a van this size, that matters more than people realize. Now, let's talk about what actually makes the Thor Sequence 20L unlike anything else I've reviewed on this channel, the electric powertrain. This van runs on electricity, fully electric, zero emissions, zero gas stations, zero oil changes, zero exhaust. And before I go any further, I know exactly what some of you are thinking, range anxiety. So let's address that directly. Honestly, no spin. The Sequence delivers approximately 150 miles of range per charge under normal driving conditions. Is that less than a diesel van? Yes, absolutely. But here's the context that usually gets left out of this conversation. The average American road tripper covers around 100 miles a day, some days more, some days less, but on average, 100 miles. On a typical travel day, the Sequence handles that comfortably, with range to spare. And when you stop for the night at an RV park, most modern campgrounds have 50-amp hookups now. Plug in when you arrive, wake up to a full charge. Simple as that. If you need a fast charge mid-trip, DC fast charging, 30 to 45 minutes and you're back on the highway. Is that as fast as pumping diesel? No, it's not. I won't pretend it is. But the cost difference is where this conversation gets interesting. Filling a diesel RV for a long trip? Around $300. Charging the Sequence for the same distance? $30 to $50. Over a full year of regular travel, that difference is thousands of dollars. Real money. Money that stays in your pocket instead of going into a fuel tank. The internal power system. And this is where the Sequence thinks completely differently. Because it's fully electric, the same battery system that powers the drivetrain also powers everything inside the van. Lights, climate control, induction cooktop, refrigerator, phone charging, laptop, entertainment, everything from one integrated battery. No separate house battery to manage, no generator to maintain and fuel, no propane system to monitor. One system, one battery, everything runs. The solar panels on the roof feed back into this system continuously. Parked in full sun, the van is actively recharging itself. On a stationary day, working remotely from a national forest, parked at a scenic overlook, the solar keeps up with your daily needs without any input from you. That is a genuinely different way of thinking about power in a van. And it works. Thor Connect. This is the smart system built into the Sequence, and it's the best tech integration I've seen in any RV at any price point. From your phone, you control everything. Climate, lighting, awning, lock and unlock, battery levels, water tanks, pre-cool or preheat the van before you even walk to it. Check on it remotely when you leave it parked. The app is clean, intuitive, doesn't feel like it was designed by an engineering team with no idea how real people use technology. It feels like a product that actually was tested by humans, that actually makes your daily life easier. That's rarer than it should be in the RV industry.
The drive.
Ford Transit AWD underneath, one of the most refined van platforms available. Add the near-silent electric drivetrain, no engine noise, no vibration, just smooth, instant torque, and driving the Sequence is unlike driving any RV I've ever been behind the wheel of. Quiet, planted, responsive. Highway driving especially, you cruise at speed and the cabin is so quiet you can have a normal conversation at a normal volume. No diesel rattle, no exhaust note, no mechanical drama. Just the road and silence and wherever you decided to go today. Real numbers, no hiding. Base price, $130,000 to $140,000. Insurance, around $180 a month. Charging cost per long trip, $30 to $50. Diesel equivalent, $300. Annual maintenance, no oil changes, no exhaust service, no transmission fluid, around $800 a year. Compare that to $1,200 to $2,000 for a diesel van. Year one total, roughly $135,000. The full picture? Knaus, it's $75,000. Thor Sequence at $135,000. Winnebago Revel at $175,000. The Sequence sits in the middle, but it offers something neither of the other two can give you: the future. The technology in this van is where the entire RV industry is heading over the next decade. You're not just buying a van, you're buying what comes next. Pros and cons. Honest. What I love, the design, inside and out. Best looking Class B van on the American market right now. I'll stand behind that. The drive, quiet, smooth, refined. Once you drive it, going back to diesel genuinely feels like a step backward. The running costs, $30 versus $300. Over a full year, thousands saved. That math matters. Thor Connect, best smart integration I've seen. It works, it's useful. That combination is rare. The panoramic windows, you cannot understand them from a photo. You have to sit inside, then you understand. The fixed rear bed never gets old. What I'd change, the range. 150 miles requires planning. It requires a different mindset than diesel travel. If you're used to just driving until you feel like stopping, the Sequence asks more from you. Charging infrastructure. Major corridors, totally fine. Remote wilderness? This is a real and honest limitation. The Sequence is not a backcountry van. The price, $135,000 for limited range, is a conversation you have to have honestly with yourself before you sign anything. And the technology risk. First generation fully electric RV. First generation means unknowns, battery degradation over time, software that will need updates, infrastructure that's still evolving. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm saying go in with open eyes. Who is the Thor Sequence 20L for? It's for the traveler who moves between cities and scenic stops, who travels established routes, stays near charging infrastructure, and wants the most technologically advanced, best-looking Class B van on the market today. It's for the remote worker who needs a quiet, beautiful, functional space that moves when they want it to and stays powered when it doesn't. It's for the forward-thinking traveler who looks at the RV industry and says, I don't want what exists, I want what's coming. The Thor Sequence 20L is what's coming, and after spending real time with it, I think it's one of the most important RVs built in the last decade. One question before I go. Are you ready to go electric, or is range anxiety still the thing holding you back? Honest answer, drop it below. No wrong answer. I read every single one. That's going to do it for today. If you got something out of this, hit subscribe. Honest RV review every week. No sponsorships, no agendas, just real talk. Next video, the one you've been asking for. Sequence versus Revel versus Knaus. All three, side by side. One honest verdict. I'm Robert. See you in the next one. Take care.